Each month, Annie and I host a deeper dive, which is a live Q&A with an expert in the field of lactation, business, or personal development. The following snippet is from our most recent deeper dive. We hope you enjoy.
Well, hey there, Leah.
Hey there, Annie. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing wonderful. Very excited about our talk today. This is something that just really fascinates me and something that I don't feel like I hear us talking about enough as lactation consultants. So I'm excited about this conversation.
Yeah, it's going to be doing something a little different than we've done in the past. We're going to be doing a deeper dive into movement and specifically how we can support our clients moving their bodies in the postpartum period and all the things we can do to help them, and also when to help them get referred out for extra help with when things are not moving the way they're supposed to be moving. But, we've all had those clients that are like, what do they always say? It's always like, my wrists, or
Yes.
I'm so hunched over.
My
And like they're
shoulders hurt.
everything. And I'm like, I feel you. I'm always like, yeah, I walk around with my shoulders up here like this too, but you don't have to. So we're going to get help from our guest today, Sheherezad Dubash, and I will introduce her to you. Sheherezad Dubash is a board-certified physical therapist in Long Island City, New York, with a career spanning over a decade. She holds a doctorate in physical therapy from the University of Medicine and Dentistry of New Jersey and a bachelor's in exercise science and nutrition from Rutgers. Frustrated by overcrowded clinics that compromise patient care, she adopted a one-on-one treatment model, prioritizing quality, holistic recovery, and injury prevention. Committed to continuous learning, Sherry is a registered yoga teacher, a certified kinesiotaping practitioner, and a Level I Reiki practitioner. She specializes in musculoskeletal and orthopedic injuries, integrating manual therapy, yoga principles, and K-tape into her practice. Passionate about movement and alignment, she fosters a mindful approach to recovery. Outside of work, she enjoys running, traveling, cooking, spending time with her family, and hiking with her dog. And we invited Sherry today because Sherry's office is across the hall from mine. And I have she has been my physical therapist, and she's done amazing things for me. And I really love the approach that she takes. And I'm excited for you to, learn from her wisdom today. So Sherry, welcome.
Hi, Leah. Hi, Annie. Thank you so much for having me on this podcast. I'm really excited to be here and kind of talk about the best way I can to bridge the connection between lactation support and physical therapy, and incorporating movement into becoming pain-free and hopefully helping your clients.
Yeah, pain-free is a big one. I mean, the postpartum period, as I know also as a mom yourself, is a painful time in many ways. But there's some kind of pain. It's like there's some things where it's like your body just has to heal and recover, and that's a natural, like there's pain involved with that. But there's also some pain that they don't have to be feeling. And that's a lot of what we want to talk about today.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of pain that you were talking about that would be referred out would be a lot of like a repetitive sort of use pain where, parents are looking down too much and they have like the shoulder and neck pain, or even like getting tension headaches. Like you don't have to deal with pain like that in the postpartum period. Or even as the baby becomes a little bit heavier and bigger, dealing with like the mommy wrist issue, or sitting too much, slouching over in different positions, getting some lower back pain, like all of that is something that a certified physical therapist can help you manage and get through, during this like sensitive period. So that's the type of pain that would be a great referral for a PT, versus, just the aches and pains that come with a change of your daily routine all of a sudden.
And your body, like going through so many changes. I feel like that's going to come with some, but I distinctly remember and gave it even a name. I called it nursing neck. And I
like
remember very distinctly because how often are you staring down at your breast,
Yeah.
in a normal situation? And then boom, you have this little one and you're constantly staring down. And I remember with each of my kids, I would get the worst cricks in my neck and just be like so uncomfortable to the point where I used to be like, don't look, don't look. Like I would try to like
Yeah.
force myself by looking up. I'm like, don't look, don't look. And I'd be holding the baby, and like trying to see how long I could like not look at the baby because I could just tell that repetitive new motion,
Yeah.
causing this. So with something like that, what are the ideas around like, okay, we've got this new movement we got to do, like holding your baby. You're going to have to hold your baby. You're going to have to probably look down sometimes at least.
Mhm.
What are the thoughts around like, or can you give us some idea about like how both with just, how does your body adapt to that over time? How long should it take to adapt to that? Are there things to counter it? And when would it be like, okay, that's more than just a week of extra tender neck. Okay, you should probably like refer out. I'm just curious about that because I obviously am not a physical therapist. So it's just something that interests me because I'm like, I feel like eventually my body got used to it and it wasn't
Mhm.
so painful, unless I was maybe extra stressed or like holding my body weird. But do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah. So, the way it sort of goes is that like you do this repetitive motion that you've never done before, especially as like a new mom, like trying to figure out like the latch and the positioning and the holding. And it's like once the baby is on you and is latched and is feeding well, you're like, okay, don't move, like just stay here. Um, so I completely understand that sentiment. But the thing to do is somewhat like how you were saying, where it's like just once they're on, like don't look down as much, kind of like do the opposite motion where it would be to like turn your neck or like do the opposite of looking down because that is the repetitive motion that you want to avoid as much as possible. Also, positioning and using a lot of support and pillows would be really helpful. Um, and I like to call them like exercise snacks, where you're not just doing like one exercise only once a day, but maybe like after a nursing session, just doing one, maybe two, couple of things to like get you out of that forward, hunched over, forward neck position, looking down, would be really helpful to kind of counteract that repetitive motion that you're doing. Because to be honest, there's no way to truly avoid it.
Yeah.
You can only do something to like counteract it. Um, and you're right, the baby also changes so frequently that, within like a couple of weeks, maybe they just become better at latching. Maybe you become a little bit more comfortable. And those aches and pains that you were dealing with before, your body does adapt and get used to it. So I would say within like a certain time frame, if things aren't progressing where they're just staying constant, pain or achiness wise, but they're getting worse and you're getting like more symptoms on top of that, where now you're getting headaches or you're getting tingling into your fingers or numbness, or pain radiating down into your arm. Those are some things that your body is talking to you and saying like, hey, I think I need a little bit of help versus just like, oh, like my neck feels so sore after, sitting there for half an hour, 45 minutes type of thing. That I feel like is to be expected. And, as much as you would benefit from coming to PT, I don't know if that's going to truly solve all the problems if you go home and do it again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So a little bit of pain's okay, but if you're having like a lot of symptoms that are just taking over your day-to-day life and also feeding your baby, would be something to go to a PT for.
I think it's a good reminder too, like we think about body support, like, oh, I'll put pillows under my elbows or something like that. But, if you're sitting there for a long time, support higher up. Because I feel like a lot of people have chairs that you're either like really high or they're like short. And so then their head, like they don't have a place to like rest. And I've been thinking about that more looking at these chairs, and either they're like heads forward because, like the puff part of the chair is right there. That's what happens to me because I'm short. And the fat part of the recliner like always pushes my head forward.
If you enjoyed that snippet, the good news is that deeper dive was recorded. And by joining our membership community, you can have access to that deeper dive as well as our entire vault of deeper dives going back through 2020. You will also be automatically invited to our live monthly deeper dives, so you can ask the experts directly all the questions you want to know about that topic. We look forward to seeing you at our next deeper dive.